So I've outlined kind of some of the main points of the process here, and you know this is not an exhaustive list. I think it gets a lot of the high points, and I'm going to kind of read through these and just describe what I'm talking about, and then we're going to look at an actual model and talk about these a little more in depth. So the coordination process, it's an iterative process. That means that we go through it more than one time. So whether we're doing coordination on a weekly or a bi-weekly or whatever your frequency is, you know, it's not a one-shot model where we go in and see what's going on and then we discard it. It's something that we update very frequently. And so when we're setting up a model, we have to be aware of that, and we have to plan for that process, because it's a bit different than setting up something that would be a single use. We want to be able to change this and maintain it from week to week with a minimal amount of effort. So we need to break that model up into building areas. Unless it was a very small building, we typically don't tackle an entire building in one shot. So we would break it up into you know, what I would call kind of digestible chunks. A lot of times this occurs along kind of natural building breaks between floors and different areas of the building, and we'll look at that. Determining what's going to be included in the model. This can be you know, very important to coordination. What do we have in the model? What don't we have in the model? What needs to be in there and what doesn't? And we'll talk a little later about some of the pitfalls of coordination, and one of the big ones is elements being left out that really needed to be in there. Related to that is level of detail. So this is simply you have an element in the building, but what level of detail is it developed to? So if we have a valve, is it just on a pipe? Is it just a square? Is it shown as the actual valve? Does it show the swing of the handle? You know, things like that. So related to the one above. Identifying and communicating a project coordinate system. This is really the starting point of the model, but it seems to be one that a lot of people stumble over, and really something that's important to get nailed down as early in the process as possible. So constructing the model, actually putting together the model. So this is we're going to be talking about Navisworks. So this is actually taking the different model files and combining them into an environment like Navisworks, making sure they're all showing up in the right place, and color coding those to make it a little more clear what you're looking at. Maintaining the model refers back to kind of that iterative process. So this is week to week or meeting to meeting. What does it take to keep that model in good shape and in working order, and in a position where you trust what's in the model. Meetings and reports. So of course we have meetings, and we have to produce reports based on the findings of those meetings, and that's part of the process of not only discovering these clashes, but also tracking them and assigning responsibilities and tracking them to the hopeful resolution of all of the clashes, so that at the end, you know, we're in possession of a model that's clash-free, or as close to it as we deem to be acceptable. And then in the end of the process is generally some sort of coordination sign-off, which is something, sometimes it's a paper document that basically everyone says, you know, we agree to the contents of this model, and we also, you know, we agree that there's no remaining clashes, and that what's in the model is constructible.